When creating a tour, we can select the way in which comments are going to be saved to the Pi server. The preferred method is by the use of annotations. When using annotations, the data will be saved in the same tag for which it is being collected. The second option is by using a comment tag. By using a comment tag, our comments will be saved on a different tag. In addition to that, we also have the ability to create a template that can contain some common comments to expedite the process of data collection and observations in the field. Let's see an example of this. I have my tour open, experiment 190. If I set up the comments for the first tag, which in this case is PyML Digital State 1, I can select a tag which will contain my comments, or I can leave that field blank and then the comments will be saved as annotations in PyML Digital State 1. Let's say that I want to select a tag which will be string number 6 as a comment tag. If I go to tour options, there are a couple of options here that are important to note. First, I do have the option to write my comments to both the annotation and the tag that I selected to save those comments. If there is no tag selected, then by default the comments will be saved as an annotation only. Another option that I have is to default my comment to the last enter comment. This may be useful in cases where equipment is in a known condition and will be in that same condition for an extended period of time, such as a valve that is broken or out of service. The last option in this field, it has to do with the creation of an annotation to record the username of the data collector when sending data to Pi. This is a useful feature when it's important to know what operators collected the data for traceability. Let's cancel out of this and see how we can create templates. I want to use annotations. I don't want to use a comment tag, so I am going to delete that tag out of there. And by going to tools, I can see a comment templates. In here I can create new templates. Let me delete the two templates that were there, and I'm going to add a new template, one for my compound X, and in here for compound X I can now create what those comments are going to be. Let's say that I wanted to select the color of the compound, and I wanted to have predefined comments to go along with the data. I can click OK, and now if I save and exit, when I perform a tour run for experiment 190, let's say the 8 o'clock run, and I enter a value for my first tag, I can enter a comment now which I can select from my templates. If I open the template window, I will be able to see now the compound X template and the predefined comments that I created. In this case, I want to select white, double click on it, make sure that it shows now on the upper field, click OK, and my predefined comment is in the field. I can save it and exit. If I go back to my tour, in addition to creating new templates, I can also use some of the digital states, such as the system, which by large is the largest digital state with the most options. I can select here some of the options that I want, click OK, and then I can include that as additional predetermined comments.